Hi everyone, welcome to this new video, and today we're gonna um, keep talking about our Lacanian subject, and we're gonna discuss an idea by Einstein, Alfredo, which is the Big Bang of language and discourse. Now, obviously, is an extensive subject. I'll try to be brief, as I have been trying to be brief, trying to see how this will work. And I'd like to, I've been talking about avoiding the theory, the Lacanian theory that we have, avoiding points of contact with biology, with the organic. I'm well aware that sometimes Lacan uses the word organic, but it's always with a twist. My main point, and we're not going to go into the twist today precisely, but my main point is there is a theory that starts from the body. Here you can place body, you can place the brain, if you like, the little one. And there's a theory that starts with a language discourse. Well, desire, libido, and conscious subject, they have to come after. And this side they place biology. Sometimes in psychoanalysis, it can be called even some kind of vitalism, because biological ideas don't go so well with some of the claims that make up for this theory, which I'm not arguing that it's a bad theory, it's a good theory, it cures more, it cures less. I cannot measure that. I don't believe it can be measured. I'm talking about different theoretical models. Okay. So in, I believe, the majority of our field, a drive for, it's hard to distinguish in some texts in this, what I'm calling the majority of Freudo-Lacanism, but let's call it jouissance. It's something that is a release of the body. It's a living substance. It's that of which the signifier doesn't capture. It's a reminder. It's a rest from what what I'm referring to calls the real. This fits right here perfectly fine, but it doesn't fit perfectly fine here. Now, here, drives are the ego in the body from the fact that there is a sane. In Lacanian, Lacan said many times, there are only facts of discourse. Facts and effects. He plays with that in French. So jouissance is always the other of the other, or is phallic, which is a symbol, which must be outside the body. It cannot be localized. They happen they happen in the signifier articulation. They're created by the signifier articulation. And yes, they affect the body, a three-dimensional body. But then again, not talking about what a medical knowledge would read, or a biological theory would read from the body. It's a different conception of body. We feel it, yeah, sure. But sensations, what Lacan differentiates as needs, those are out of the scope of this theoretical model. There may be here, again, perfectly fine. So, obviously, separating psychoanalysis or posing, conceptualizing psychoanalysis on this side doesn't mean not to accept the reality of a biological body. As I said, it only means that it does not pertain to psychoanalysis, that we don't have means of talking about it. It means to think psychoanalysis without the horizon of biology, because it's only then that we can accept that women and men are but signifiers. It's only then that we can work with the effort Lacan made to develop the signifier as the cut, the surfaces, the topological surfaces, the passage from the 2D, from the 3D to the 2D. So the subject, as I said in the previous video, is often confused or maybe assumed to be, rightfully, in that way of thinking, as a kind of a product of the person, as a property almost. Now, Elstein proposes a radical reinterpretation of this idea, which, as I have been researching this for the last several years, seems to be a way out. It's not a way out from biologization, a way to clearly state the business of psychoanalysis. So he proposes a creation ex nihilo, originating in the Big Bang of language and discourse. There is a theory of language coming to be term after term in an evolutionary development. That's Pinker's theory, genetic mutation that happened between yesterday and who knows how many years ago. And we are working here, fine. We can deal with that. Pinker's idea. If we are working here, we need a different conception of how language operates. And a good concept for that is that of synchrony. The elements all together in relation, operating. You have to have a set of elements operating in relation to each other. You don't have a first speaker. So the verb pre-existing the subject establishes the conditions for its emergence. Because then again, remember that the first video, it was about placing, one of the ways of talking about the subject was precisely as the clinical text. So the verb pre-existing the subject establishes the conditions for its emergence, situating the subject within a network of signifiers and the other. But then again, the subject is never identified with one signifier. It lacks identity. This view dismisses the chronological and linear time often associated with biological and developmental models, replacing it with a logical and non or a circular temporality. The subject appears as an effect of the interplay of signifiers, where its essence is not rooted in anatomy, but in the symbolic coordinates that precedes it and sustains it. I'm a very big fan of John Lennon as a musician. I like his music, and I was one day traveling, and I was in London, and I saw a wall with a picture. It's John Lennon's picture, and I immediately started singing one of his songs. If we sing one of his songs, one of his famous songs, are those coordinates to what exactly in a group? Even better, can someone say, well, if John Lennon was alive today, he would have said, he would have done, he would have written something like this, something like that? You can think close, family, but you can also think distant. Is there a symbolic coordination to think the subject? The big question is, can the subject die? So the symbolic, with its historical and cultural specificity, replaces biology as the locus of causality. It brings the subject much more closer to a linguistic construct. So in this psychoanalysis, we don't work with the subject as a epiphenomenon of the biological body. Psychoanalysis won't count subjects as we count bodies. 1, 2, 3. This would be the opposite of a mixing of otherness, the way I see it. So in that way, we can align the subject with a theme, subject matter, topic, instead of this personal entity that it's not that different from, I don't know, a hidden second conscience, little man inside the brain, I don't know. Which again, I'm not judging as worse or better, but stating what I came here to state in this channel, which was a different psychoanalysis. So that's it for today. Thank you very much. See you next time.